Hey everybody, it's Michael Eaton.
And Zach Watson.
And we are Two Dudes Review, and we just had our very first double feature. Well,
kinda, sorta.
You want to explain?
So, over this weekend, primarily yesterday and today, I went up to Wisconsin with Ariel to take her back to school along with her mother. We got up there fine, and we started our trip back just fine this morning, but due to some, I guess, unforeseen blockades and a very odd detour, we were actually pushed behind schedule, so Michael had to sit through one of the movies by himself.
Yeah.
And I was able to make it in time for movie 2.
Yeah, and also if you're wondering why our special guest, Marcus, is not with us, it's because he had to cancel short notice, so...
Very short notice.
Yeah.
But we do hope to eventually have him and more guests on the show at some point.
Yes, and also be on the lookout for our upcoming reviews of Chapter 2. We have Overcomer and the Peanut Butter Falcon with special guest from Simply Cinema, Joshua Faulkner.
Oh, really? He agreed to do that?
Yes, he actually agreed.
Boom!
And plus, I'm going to take Abby to see both of those films anyway. So
that's true.
So anyway, the first film that we are going to review right now is Ready or Not, and
this will be him.
This will be me. This is the latest suspense film from Margot Robbie, who is would you say one of your favorites?
At least if we're not talking Suicide Squad, yes.
Yeah.
If we're talking Suicide Squad,
I enjoyed her more in this than I did in Suicide Squad.
If we're going to talk performance-wise, her Suicide performance was pretty...
Yeah.
But if we're going to talk about the fan service... We're a kid's show, right?
Yeah, I know. So anyway, so the basic plot of this is this young couple who has recently gotten married. The bride must take in a family tradition of playing a game with the groom's family. But as time goes on, she realizes the game is very, very deadly.
Oh, so we're into Marilyn Manson level of kinky. All right.
No. Even no.
No. See, we don't even know how to label that joke, so...
I don't even know.
A family picture.
Family picture. You know what? Actually, there's a lot of stuff in this that is pretty dumb and not suitable for certain people. But overall, I will say that Ready or Not is definitely a winner as of late.
Which is good because I plan on catching up on that film since I missed it.
It is a overall winner until it gets to what exactly these people are. And I'm not going to give it away. But when you find out what these people actually are, it did not sit well with me at all. Because
you're making me worry now. You're making me worry about this movie. You just told me it's good. Yeah. How dare you, Michael? Yeah. This is the internet. We will get torches and pitchforks at us.
Yeah, I know that. But still, I'm just saying. Look, I'm saying overall, this movie is good. Except for the curse words and when you find out what the people are. But overall, if they had taken out the swear words, I will say that this would make a great suspense for any viewer.
I mean, that you could say the same for just about any movie that has swearing in it.
Yeah, but I will say though, the performances are creepy. The comedy, there's great. There's good comedy.
Please tell me it's spot on.
There's good comedy in this.
Good.
Specifically with Adam Brody's character.
Ooh,
if you know who Adam Brody is.
Some people probably do not. Remember,
I've seen him in a lot of stuff, but I'm not familiar with his
I have no idea.
Highlights. I know Margot Robbie. I don't know any of
We know her biggest downfall.
There was Andy McDowell plays the mother in this. If you know Andy McDowell, you know her from films like Groundhog Day, and she was in like 4 Weddings and a Funeral, I think, with Hugh Grant. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'll have to go back and rewatch that one.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, but the biggest surprise for me in this was the violence.
I mean, if we're going to talk violence and it's a horror suspense film, it's got to be a little violent.
It is.
It's like making a horror movie with no blood. You can't do it. Granted.
Although there is one funny scene where Margot Robbie punches one of the children in the face.
How young is the child?
He's like 10 or 11.
All right, now I'm imagining a 10 or 11-year-old child. Boom! Ah! Just boom! Oh, God!
That's for not liking Suicide Squad, dang it.
Right, like, why don't you like Suicide Squad? Ow! If I say I like it, will you quit hitting me?
I know. But I will say, while this is not my cup of tea, I do find it very entertaining at times. And aside from the ending and when you find out what the people are, if you are not squeamish, you will have an amazing time.
I guess that means I'll have to give you guys my rating on it when I go see it next.
Yeah, you were gonna see it, but unfortunately he got caught up in really terrible Iowa and Illinois traffic.
Well, it wasn't just Iowa, because the trip was up to Wisconsin, then it was down from Wisconsin, but then over to Iowa, through Iowa in like a little bit of a 30-minute U-turn type of deal, and then back into Illinois, and then something on the car started to fall off that we thought was vital. So what do? We pull over, I get under the car, I'm checking it, I'm putting back up. It's like, all right, no, we're good. We're driving, falls back down, and it's just grinding the rest of the way. For when we get home, we were able to finally take it off. And then I hopped in my car and zoomed down here to Lincoln. I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
let's do this. Let's have fun. Let's go to review, because I've been stuck in a car all day, and our studio here doesn't help.
Although it does feel a lot better when you're not having to deal with crappy drivers on the interstate.
Oh, let me tell you, there was a lot of those today.
Yeah. So overall, guys, I feel bad that Zach was not able to see this with me, but overall, I know you will absolutely love this when you go see it.
Yes.
I find it entertaining. Just it's mainly a great satire. I see it as a combination of the movie Clue. You remember the movie Clue, based on the board game?
No, I've never seen that.
Oh, Abby would know, because she loves the movie Clue, and it's a combination of that mixed with like a good. Like one of those good satires of horror films that has a lot of comedy in it.
So are we talking like that perfect balance of like scary movie parody level and actually good suspense like Psycho? Or something along the lines of what...
It's close like that.
Okay.
It's not perfect, but it is...
Well, what is?
Nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Except for the reviews on Joaquin Phoenix's Joker movie. That was through the roof.
I saw the last trailer for that film, and I gotta say, I am very excited, because you cannot get worse than Jared Leto.
Alright, I know it can't, but it's gonna be really it's going to be really hard to top Heath Ledger.
Oh, yeah.
Let's be honest.
But I feel that Joaquin Phoenix has the acting chops to at least get to that level.
He might, but my thing is I have to watch the final trailer to see what we're going to be dealing with when that comes out, because if we're going to talk about it in terms of a DC continuity film for a live-action universe again, since DC wants to reboot the extended universe movies...
Yeah.
I have big hopes for it, because I've already seen people talk about screenshots from trailers that reference the Batman v Superman movie continuity, and a part of me kind of hopes it becomes part of a DCEU, and that we legitimately get an amazing Joker again.
Maybe.
But I just don't want it to be one of those, like, it's overly done because it's the first movie under that title.
Right.
So
overall, guys, Ready or Not is not for everybody, but if you are into this kind of suspense comedy mix, you're gonna have an amazing time. Just be aware of what is in this film.
Which means if you're like me and haven't seen it yet, let the party begin.
Now, so overall, I give Ready or Not a thumbs up.
And overall, I give it a pending.
I'm pretty sure what yours will be. Okay, now the second film we're going to review to you guys is
Angel Has Fallen.
Angel Has Fallen. Yes, the latest film from Gerard Butler, Morgan Freeman, and it is a renowned.
Are you trying to go for a synopsis or genre dealing?
I'm going with mainly genre, because
okay, if we're going to talk about the genre, this is a mix between action, suspense, and I kind of want to say comedy.
Hi, babe.
But that necessarily wouldn't work because it's not supposed to be funny.
No.
So, okay, here's how I'm gonna do it. It's action, suspense, and unintentionally comedy.
Especially for certain parts, because
good lord, the effects budget.
Oh, yeah. That is the fakest looking helicopter I've ever seen.
There is a scene where this helicopter is flying around a hospital to put someone down because they had to life flight someone. This helicopter looks almost like it's from the PS1 to PS2 era games.
Yes.
With a little bit extra detail. Not much.
You know what else looks fake is one of the sniper rifles.
Oh, there's a sniper in a helicopter flying around the same hospital like another, 45 minutes or so later?
Mm-hmm.
And he's holding the sniper, and it's like, yeah, this totally isn't a Nerf gun painted to look like a real gun.
It looks exactly like a Nerf gun.
It does. Like, I'm sorry, did somebody just pull a YouTuber and just spray paint a Nerf gun? Like, really?
So the basic synopsis of this film is a continuation of the Has Fallen trilogy, with Olympus Has Fallen, London Has Fallen, and now this. And so Mike Banning, who's played again by Gerard Butler, is tasked with protecting the president while he's on a fishing trip.
Yeah, because
fishing. And there's an assassination attempt on President Morgan Freeman, who, honestly, I like.
He does no wrong.
I like him.
The man has played God. He does no wrong.
No. I'm just wondering if he would actually make a good president. Would he?
Morgan Freeman, President 2020? Let's see.
Oh, yeah. Maybe down the road. Maybe after this next 4 years.
You know what? Hold on. Let's keep the political joke folder hidden until later.
Yeah.
Because we might need that.
Yeah, we might need that for later. So anyway, after there's an assassination attempt on President Morgan Freeman, Mike Banning is basically framed for it and is on the run from the FBI, making him America's most wanted.
And quite literally, one of our two primary antagonists is so obviously revealed in the beginning of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they try to build it up like, you're not going to guess it, you're never going to guess it, and then you guess it.
Yeah.
Because
I guessed it like 20 minutes into the movie.
Well, you guessed one of them.
Yeah.
And then we thought you were wrong, so they did throw us for a loop.
Yeah.
But then we were revealed to be right at the same time. It's like, oh!
I did not spoil Ready or Not, but I am going to spoil the heck out of this, though.
Oh, God, this movie deserves a good ripping.
The main villain of this film is the frickin' vice president. The vice president of the United States is the villain in this.
Because for whatever reason, Morgan Freeman as the president in this continuity has done really well with changing the country and not being all based on war, which is really good. But to those people who like sending our men out to die for whatever reason they have against another country, they're like, oh, I'm going to assassinate the president and take over. They almost succeed in it, and while the man's in a coma, the vice president comes in, is revealed to be our villain as he's sitting there trying to say that Russia is involved in all this stuff.
Yeah, there's a flippin'...
It's a mess.
They talk about Russia meddling, and they also bring up how, Russia meddled with our election. I'm like, what the heck? What is wrong with Hollywood? I'm sorry, I am going to tear this movie apart for this.
See, they try to be satirical with it, and they failed in that aspect because what they're trying to be satirical about is just how corrupt politics can be, how people can, make money and stuff off of war. And it's like, okay, then be satirical about that. Don't be satirical and try to bring Russia into this stuff because, we don't need another country seeing this movie and trying to fight us because we involved them in a fictional plot that was supposed to be satirical.
Yeah.
Like, why?
Come on. Whoever you voted for, whoever you think is a great leader, just beware. Even you will find this plot thread very, very stupid and forced.
It's very forced because when Mike Banning is supposed to be our main bad guy, like, oh, he tried to kill the president. It's, oh, we found this file on your computer, this encrypted file from the black web. What computer did this man have? We've never seen him in front of a computer.
No, we have never seen him in front of a computer screen.
Oh, your DNA was found all over this, explosives launching device in this black van. Like, What? Can you explain more on how that happened?
Yeah.
Can you explain all this different stuff that you're accusing him of? And
It gets so flippin' ridiculous that
they literally go out of their way for this plot thread to work, and it is atrocious.
It's atrocious.
Especially when some of the characters that you think are going to be involved with the plot through the entire film are literally killed off, and it changes nothing.
No.
Their involvement is literally about as meaningful as SpongeBob's continuity between episodes.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, I think even SpongeBob would have better continuity than this film.
I mean, if we're going to spoil the shit out of it, 2 FBI agents investigate Mike Banning. They're the ones who accuse him. 2 seconds later, like a good halfway through the film, when we already know who the bad guys are, they finally find out, and they get shot and killed. And it's like...
Okay, one of them being played by Will Smith's wife.
Yeah, like...
I'm like, what the heck did she add to the plot?
She added... Literally, none of these characters from the FBI added anything to the plot.
No.
They added nothing to the character development. They added nothing to the plot of the story. They didn't even add anything more into what kind of investigation they were going for, besides, oh, this man, you know, got paid $10 million in an offshore account by Russia to kill the president. Again, what's up with Russia?
Yeah.
What involvement do they have? Not once has Russia been mentioned until the president was damn near killed.
It's because this country is on a Russia hate thing. And it's getting so old. It's so old. I hate it.
It was a pointless thread, and I can't get over how stupid it was.
I would have rather, had Russia not been involved, I would have followed it a lot better. I would have been more invested.
Had they would have just been a presidential assassination plot for the sake of the vice president wanting to be the president, it'd be far more believable. You don't need to have all this extra country involvement stuff to make a good story. You want a good story about these people, about war and all this?
Yeah.
You want it to be a satirical thing about people who have been through war and have been mentally changed because of it? You want to have a story about a corrupt politician? Then have a story about a corrupt politician. Tell a story with an antagonist and a protagonist, both changed by war.
We've had good films with corrupt politicians as antagonists.
And it didn't involve Russia or some other country.
It didn't have to involve such difficult, politics on Russia. It just included, this guy's in power and I want to be in power, so I'm going to try to take him out secretly. And
those movies were really good most of the time.
Most of the time.
And this one could have been a lot stronger than it was. Like, we could forgive how bad some of the effects were at times had it had a more cohesive story.
Mm-hmm.
It did not have a very cohesive story. Therefore, we get to rip it to shreds.
Yes. I will say, though, the only thing, two things, that I find a positive is
Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, three things. Morgan Freeman, the action scenes towards the end, and Nick Nolte as the father.
That was pretty funny.
Nick Nolte as Mike Banning's father is so funny. It's also so good to see Nick Nolte on camera again.
Now, see, this movie actually had some pretty good, clever comedy moments, which is why I put it in an unintentional comedy level, because the effects were bad, very bad at times. Like, there is one scene where the president, our main character, and a few others are trying to run from a building that was just blown up, and you can tell they are in front of either a blue screen or a green screen, because as rubble and stuff is falling, it looks about as bad as the green screen on the daily news.
Yeah, it looks like a homemade green screen effect. It looks like something you would see on Channel Awesome.
And that's more of an insult to Channel Awesome's animation.
Channel Awesome has better effects than these guys do.
It's sad when YouTube does better than Hollywood.
That's right. Yeah, Hollywood is really suffering right now.
Oh, big time. But then again, we do get those fun times of getting ready to rip these movies to shreds.
Yes. It just warms my heart to see such a piece of garbage like this, because we get to rip into it and give our analysis. And also, also, Zach came up with a good idea towards the end of this, and you said it was something about like buying this film when it comes out on DVD or Blu-ray, and using it to compare it to a Christian worldview.
Something similar to that. There is an author out who has this book series called Faith and Fandom, and each chapter of his book is an essay that involves something from pop culture and how it can fit into our daily lives through scripture and such. And I myself have sent some articles to him via email that I worked on before, trying to think about doing something similar, because me and you were going to do something similar with some novellas in the past.
Yeah.
And towards the end of the movie, Morgan Freeman gives a very, very beautiful speech to our main character, who is called an angel because he's protecting the president and all that.
Yeah.
And it's about pretty much how not only is one supposed to realize how much they can trust one another, but also about how knowing when to finally say something about what's going on, and not just believe that you're going through it alone. Now, to get the exact quote, I could have either just pulled out my phone and illegally recorded it, or we can buy it and rewatch it however many times we need to get it right.
Yeah.
Because with us as Christians, it is important to realize that, yes, the world is ever changing. The world is going to change every day that we are here, and it's not going to stop anytime soon. But with all sorts of different media coming out, there's a lot of stuff we can learn from it that some teachers and even some preachers aren't going to learn. And they're not going to teach us.
And something that teachers and preachers would not even think about.
Exactly. And that's what's cool about a lot of this stuff. And that's what gave me the idea for this, is because on Amazon Kindle, all of the Faith and Fandom books are free for the next 4 days. I've already bought them all for free.
Nice.
I did it as soon as I woke up this morning at 4:30. I'm like, oh, yes.
Yeah, he had to wake up at 4:30 in the morning.
I didn't have to. I just woke up. I was dead asleep most of the night, and then I wake up and I'm like, oh, God, no.
Yes. But overall, I think this would be a great series for us to cover on this channel.
Oh, yeah.
If you guys want to see us take media like comics, movies, TV shows, and put it into a Christian worldview, let us know if you want to see it in the comments below, and we'll start getting to work on what we can do for it.
Now, granted, for that to happen, we're going to need a lot of your guys' support to kind of help make this show a bit bigger, so that way we can try to dedicate more time to it. Because right now we've got limited time, limited resources.
Yes.
And with all the stuff that we want to do, we're going to have to find a way to be able to switch it over. It's going to take a little bit, but
yeah,
if you guys are with us, then we're more than happy to take this journey.
Because so far, I mean, first of all, we want to thank you all so much, because right now we have reached 30 followers on Instagram, over 103 followers on Facebook, and we're getting close to... We have over 10 subscribers on YouTube within just a week. So that means so much to us, and we cannot thank you all enough for sticking with us and loving what we do. And also funny, when I was at the Labor Day parade earlier, I think I told you this. One of the candidates running for circuit clerk, her husband recognized me from our Facebook thing.
Really? And yeah, you told me about that through the text message.
Yeah, he said, "I love what you're doing on Facebook, man."
Oh, that's great.
And
I wonder if he's one of our regular watchers then.
I know his wife is, and she's the one running for circuit clerk.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we have fans that honestly we don't even know.
I mean,
but
then again, that's what makes this fun, is because at the end of the day, we want to build a community where we can, yes, tear into movies and shows that are bad, and also talk about the ones that are good and the ones that we like. But also, it's just, we want to build a community where we can be entertaining and entertain those around us. And, to not go on a whole nother tangent like we did with the Hobbs and Shaw review. It's just,
no.
We enjoy doing this, and if we can make it a career, then by God, are we going to do it?
Yes, we are.
But in order for us to be able to fully do that, we need your guys' support 100%. That way we can be sure that we can dedicate our time and our energy to it, and that we can get the financial help that we can get in order to make careers out of it. Because if we can, then you better believe we'll be able to create higher quality content and more shows. So instead of just a weekly review, we could have our weekly reviews. We can have our regular guest stars.
And we can have like our regular segments.
Exactly. Like all the different things that we want to do.
Mm-hmm. All the stuff we have coming up too.
Exactly. Like all the things that we want to do and all the things that we got coming up, we don't have the time nor resources for it as of right now. If we could keep growing, then yeah, we'll eventually get to the point to where we can officially switch over and do this full time.
Mm-hmm.
And if so, we would like to, because there's a lot that we want to do. Not just video-wise, we want to be able to publish other types of content. Eventually, hopefully publishing some novellas we've been working on.
Yeah.
And even making podcasts and...
Yeah, we have been in talks of making a podcast. Like, what have we called it? I don't know. I don't think we have a name for it, but it's definitely something that you guys will definitely want to check out.
It's been a couple of different things, because there's the podcasts that are strictly for stories and telling stories and such. But then we've also got the podcasts where it would be kind of like us trying to create a type of platform for a digital age church for those who may not feel like they belong, but want to find a church that they can listen to, a place where they can find inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of stuff that we've got in the works, and a lot of stuff that we want to bring forward. It's just, it'll take some time for us to get there.
It will. And also, we don't want to do this for attention from anyone. We don't want to do this for the publicity. What we're trying to do is be the voice for people who are looking for a voice, who don't have opinions of their own, who don't know if something is good or bad, or oh hey, I might like this because these guys say it is.
Right, and it's now we're not saying take our opinions as law. We're saying
no, because there are better critics out there.
Oh God, like. A common thing on our page is we want to live up to the legends of Siskel and Ebert.
Yeah, Gene Siskel and Roger Ebert are basically our role models.
They are our role models for what we want this channel to be. We want it to be funny. We want it to be entertaining.
But we also want it to be a little bit intellectual and a little bit of like I said, be a little bit of a voice to those who don't know whether something is good or bad, or whether they're gonna like it or not. And for us, Siskel and Ebert were the cornerstone of that.
They are the masters of critiquing movies, because if you ever go back and rewatch some of their old stuff, like what me and Michael have, we've got the times where one of us may love it, the other one may hate it, and vice versa.
Yeah.
We got times where we both hate this movie, and we will rip it to shreds until it has nothing left to rip into.
And there are times where Zach and I will like something,
and we will put it on a pedestal.
Yes.
But that doesn't mean it's your guys' cup of tea. We want to be able to give you guys some sort of idea of, whether you'll like it or not. We want to put the idea in your head of, maybe I ought to check this out. And if you do, if you like it, great. If not, tell us why. We want to be open to this discussion.
We want to hear from you guys, why you guys like something or hate something, or what do you want to see from us, or what are you wanting to do?
Right, because like we talked about in our announcement videos, one thing I would love to do, since I am currently studying medical assisting, and I just have a passion for learning things in the medical field, I would love to have my own show on here to dedicate time to showing like the different medical aspects that we've seen in movies, and analyzing if it's plausible or not, analyzing if different fictional drugs could exist in our real world now or anytime soon, and whether the things that we see happening in movies are plausible. Like in this one, we had literally somebody get shot up at least a good 4 feet in the air because of a singular grenade that was already muffled by a dead body.
Yeah, we've seen that in tons of action films.
Now, how can that happen? What's the strength of a grenade, and how much can a body take from that? That's the stuff I would like to look into.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the horror movie aspect, Nightmare on Elm Street, they've got Hypnosil, which is a dream suppressant drug. Last I checked, there's nothing that could suppress dreams since we don't have science on it. But maybe there's something similar we can look into.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff's intriguing to me, and I want to be able to make a show that will hopefully intrigue you guys in that stuff too. Kind of get you to think about it and maybe do some research on your own as well.
Yeah. And like me, I am all for the Christian worldview segment. Like,
So, I mean,
taking films and TV shows and putting a Christian perspective on
exactly. Seeing how different characters and different themes are portrayed that we can all learn from. Like, now I'm probably going to get some hate for this, but Game of Thrones is actually a pretty prominent thought in my head with that. Yeah, I'm only 2 episodes in. I fell asleep through episode 3 in season 1.
Mm-hmm.
Don't hate. But in the first 2...
I haven't seen it yet.
In the first 2 episodes alone, there's a lot we can look into because you've got these people putting certain archetypes on pedestals. You have people using their own family members for personal gain, and there's a lot that we can look into that, as far as the books are concerned, hasn't even been covered in the show because it's canceled after 8 seasons, or not canceled, but concluded.
Yeah.
All that hate. God, I've seen nothing but hate when that first ended.
I seen it too. I just don't understand it.
I don't yet, but I will.
Oh yes.
And honestly, I just can't wait for the new horror movies to come out because one of our next reviews is It Chapter 2, and oh my God, I can't wait!
He is giddy.
I have been listening to it on Audible all this week when I've been working my 3rd shift job. Like, it has been either one earbud in or both of them just deep dived into this book. I am more than halfway through it right now, and I'm hopefully going to have it finished before we see it, and I cannot wait. I have seen all the trailers. I have found all the images that I can that I know are legit, and I am so giddy because Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise, the dancing clown, is by far one of my most favorited horror movie villains of most recent times.
Even better than Tim Curry.
Oh, Tim Curry is a man. Tim Curry is a Pennywise after my own heart, especially with the wah-ha, wah-ha, wah-ha. But I gotta get...
They float.
Oh, yes, Georgie. They all float. Don't get me wrong. Nobody will replace Tim Curry. But Bill Skarsgård is the most terrifying clown I've ever seen. And I've seen Ronald McDonald.
Yeah, Ronald McDonald will scare the crap out of any child. Just saying.
But, in all honesty, there's a lot that we want to do. And a lot that we really want to dive deep into. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that we want to do. And we even got some other friends joining the YouTube scene and stuff. And
oh, yeah.
We're eventually hoping to build kind of like a cinematic universe where not only are we going to have this show and the other ones that we've got in the works, but we'll also be able to team up with them and produce content together.
Yes.
And pull a channel awesome with a whole bunch of quirky characters that you can love and build our own little cinematic universe.
Because also we have reviews coming up with our good friend Andrew
Watch it.
Yep, watch it. So I'm sorry, I keep.
Everybody keeps wanting to call him Waddy because his last name's Watrit, and it's like
I know. I just keep calling him Wadrit. I just keep calling him Waddy.
Just call him Waddy. Yeah. All right. When we say Waddy, we mean Andrew Watrit, one of our good friends from Lincoln.
Yes, we're going to be doing a review of him, and we're also, like I said, we're teaming up with Simply Cinema for a review of The Peanut Butter Falcon, or we're going to team up with him to do a review of Overcomer, which I think will be fantastic for us.
I've got high hopes.
Because when we started this channel, he was one of our very first supporters.
He was. And actually, he was the first to contact us about crossing over at some point.
Yeah.
So, we're hyped to have him on the show. And then, I'm pretty sure we're supposed to be doing a crossover on the Deets on the Eats channel with Andrew.
Yes, we are.
Which means if we're going to have to do a crossover, we're going to have to appear on Simply Cinema.
Yes. And I would love to appear on Andrew's show. Like go with him to different restaurants and review foods.
Oh,
Sort
is that
of like,
what he does?
Yeah.
I thought he was making food all the time.
He makes food, but he also reviews food.
Okay, so
sort
he
of-
pulls a Raj.
Yeah, sort of like what our good friend Raj does.
You know, we'll have to get Raj on the show at some point.
Yeah, definitely get Raj on the show. And Raj, if you want to join us on the show, we'd love to have you, brother.
All you gotta do is text us.
But overall, guys, I will say that Angel Has Fallen is very underwhelming, very preachy, very manipulative, but has sprinkles of goodness, just like an ice cream parfait. Overall, I'm giving Angel Has Fallen a thumbs down.
And I have to give it a median, because it's saved by the action and Morgan Freeman, who does no wrong.
Yeah,
if Morgan Freeman wasn't in this, it'd be a...
Yeah. I just thank God they kept him around at the end of London Has Fallen. Imagine if they killed him off in that movie.
I'd have to go back and rewatch him to figure out how mad I would be at that.
Yeah. so yeah, overall, 1 positive, 1 negative from me tonight. So
and one pending.
Yes. So I gotta say, this double feature thing has been so much fun this evening. Even though I missed,
we'll have to work on it.
Even though I missed you greatly.
Well,
for the first screening.
This isn't our first time doing this and having it be crazy mix-up, but this ain't gonna be the last time.
No.
But hopefully, with the next time we do this, it'll be better thought out. Because with Ariel in college, I'll have a little bit of an easier time knowing I don't have to trek up to Wisconsin in the weekends.
Right. Also, I'm so glad you brought that up, because I'm also wanting to start a segment on this show called Date Night Screenings, where it'll be me and Abby doing a review of the film if ever you're not available, and I was thinking like you and Ariel could do one.
And that could be a regular thing, because I mean they'd be reoccurring characters on the show at some point. So
they're going to be reoccurring characters. I know Faulkner will be one.
Oh yeah,
because we love you, Josh. We love your channel. We love what you do.
And you know, anytime you want to join us on our show, you just gotta let us know. But I mean, like we said earlier, there's a lot we want to do, and like Michael said, date night reviews. Like, would this movie be a good date? Let's go on a date and find out.
Yeah.
Like,
because there's one thing I love more than your reactions. It's Abby's reactions to movies.
Ariel doesn't have much reaction until we saw Dora.
I'm like, whenever we're in something bad, I look over at Abby and she's just staring at the screen like this.
I can't remember the last time I saw a bad movie with Ariel. Then again, most of the movies she shows me are just bad.
I've seen bad films with Abby, but mostly it's been my fault.
Well, see, the last movie I remember, and I still give Ariel crap about it to this day, it was the first time we took her up to Wisconsin last year for her freshman year of college. Me, her, and her mom were in the hotel room watching a movie, laying down for bed, so that way we could get up the next morning to take her to campus. She plays this movie, and literally, within the first 2 seconds of the film, it starts off with, if there's one thing my mom has told me, it's to never go to college with a boyfriend. As I'm sitting there right next to her, I go, Ariel, are you trying to tell me something? And she's sitting there like, no! What makes you say that? Rewind!
Do you remember the name of it?
No, but I know it's a Netflix movie.
Oh, no.
I think it's To All the Boys I've Loved Before,
Oh my gosh, that movie?
Yeah, that movie.
Oh, man.
And let me tell you,
I have heard nothing but bad things.
Oh, are you kidding? You're gonna hear nothing but bad things about it from me, because good Lord did I rip into that movie.
Also,
good God did I give her crap, and I still do to this day.
We'll save that for another time. Because we also want to do something called Netflix
News.
Netflix News, yes. That's actually a really good title. Netflix News, where we're going to review Netflix exclusives, tell you whether they're good or bad, and whether they're worth a thumbs up or thumbs down.
Exactly.
So overall, you guys, I'm giving Ready or Not thumbs up. I'm giving
Pending.
Angel Has Fallen thumbs down.
Median. Without Morgan Freeman?
Yes. So overall, thank you guys so much for joining us this evening. And I know it's been a long day for us at the movies, but you know what? It comes with the job, and it's a lot of fun.
It is. At the end of the day, that's all this is. It's fun for us, and we get a chance to just crack jokes and rip into movies and truly see if they're worth the time or not.
And also be on the lookout for the upcoming months, because we're going to be possibly ripping into a certain revival of a children's show courtesy of Nick Jr.
Oh, yes.
So, Blue's Clues, we're coming for you.
Blue Sky Dude, we can too.
So until next time, we are Two Dudes Review. I'm Michael Eaton.
And I'm Zach Watson. And we'll see you next time.
Yes, we'll see you guys next week.